Terrible phase.
And then some people just wear sunglasses on their head the whole time.
I'll make sure he sees those.
Yeah, I don't know how we hired him. I liked him though, but somehow the sunglasses distracted me the whole time. But maybe that was it. Maybe that was his shtick.
Yeah,
Sunglasses.
that's how he did it.
Ah.
All right, I'm going to do that for my next interview. Sunglasses on the head.
Hey everybody, this is Zach with IT Career Questions, and I am here today with Matt Reed, who is a network and security analyst, and he has a history as a network admin, and he is going to answer some questions for you guys. Stay tuned. Matt, thank you for being here. I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for having me, Zach. I really do enjoy these little conversations we get to have every once in a while.
Right? It's been a while.
Yes, it
Yeah,
has.
it's been quite a while, actually.
Usually I'm mowing my lawn and you drive up and start talking to me.
Yeah, I start honking at you.
Throwing rocks at me.
Yeah, some biscuits and gravy at you. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good old days. Anyway, why don't you tell us about yourself and all that stuff.
Well, as Zach had
History.
mentioned, I'm a network and security analyst. I've been working in the IT field for over 25 years. I originally started out as just installing networks, working for a small value-added reseller in Rockford, and slowly worked my way up the chain to where I was an IT director, I was an IT help desk, I was an IT supervisor, just a network administrator. So I kind of covered, in my mind, kind of the whole gambit of IT work when I first got into the IT arena, per se. I wasn't one who was a college student. I went to DeVry and got my bachelor's degree in communication. I was originally wanted to work in phone switches. Interviewed with the company, was ready to go to start do phone switches. The Gulf War started, and the company halted all hiring. So that transitioned to where I was just looking for jobs and got one doing, like I said, working for a value-added reseller, installing computer networks and computers. And from there, it's been just up from there.
What other IT positions have you had besides, being in networking? Have you done anything different?
Well, kind of looking at the beginning of my career, I was just a tech doing installs for computers and computer networks. From there, I got lucky to meet several guys in the field who I got to know, and were also really good at showing me stuff, and realized that, hey, this guy, I can show him something, he picks up on it, and he takes it from there. So I got a chance to meet those great guys. I got a chance to also follow them around to other companies, because back in the day when in IT in the early 90s, there wasn't a lot of us. So it was easy to jump around from company to company and make more money, increasing your pay. So I jumped from doing just being a tech to being a systems admin to a senior systems admin to being the director of an IT department, and then moving to another organization to where I was doing help desk work, and then moving into doing networking and also being an IT supervisor. And then, of course, now I moved into being a security analyst and a network analyst, or a security network analyst, which has always kind of been one position that I've always had an interest in ever since I've gotten into IT. Because I originally cut my teeth in companies that were running Token Ring, and they were running Token Ring because they were running mainframes. And any of you who are familiar with that know that
You're dating yourself right now.
Yep. If you were mainframe, you were running Token Ring, and that's what your network was built off of. And if you had a mainframe, you had a security officer. That's why I'm old school IT.
Yeah, you've definitely. You've come a long way though. So you've seen the field just progress from literally a mainframe and Token Ring to, what you see today, which is just a vast, it's just endless.
And you got to remember, the mainframe environments are comparable to the VM environments of now. These mainframes were running multiple systems within one system, just like the VMs are. So it was kind of you're just on different platforms and different OSs, but it's been quite the transition from working with Novell until Microsoft stole their Novell directory services and made it theirs. But yeah, it was.
They made it better though.
Just like Microsoft made Excel better than Lotus Notes?
Sure. Or
Word was
WordPerfect.
better than WordPerfect?
Yeah, right. They're just a giant. Oh, that's great. How you actually became a network admin or a network security
Oh.
analyst.
The way I move, I think it's like all things in the IT field. It's experience. Don't think that you're going to get out, you're going to graduate from college and jump right into some network administration job. It is all experience. You've got to get your foot in the door, and you've got to learn how their environment works, what the environment looks like, what systems they use. Just configuring a switch and putting a VLAN on it doesn't mean anything unless you know what servers need to be on that VLAN. What was the intent for that VLAN in regards to the devices that need to talk on it. Being able to read network maps to understand how the network is working. You just don't jump into, hey, I can configure a Cisco switch, so I'm a network administrator. You've got to have. So I got lucky with it. I don't say even lucky. It's just all experience. Years of experience working on a help desk, learning how the environment works, and showing that I had the proficiency to be able to work on networking gear and could understand it is how I moved into being a network administrator. Which I think, in my mind, that's I think how you see a lot of good guys or the good IT techs are those guys who are willing to start, I don't want to say at the bottom, but are willing to start at the help desk. If you want to learn IT, you can't get any more experience than starting at the help desk and taking those calls and learning how the systems work and putting it all together.
And that's kind of something I say to all these guys to begin with. A lot of them kind of assume they're going to get their associates or bachelors and get like a CCNA and go get a network admin job right away. That's just not how it works.
No.
I mean, I would say 99% of the time it's not going to happen. You could get lucky and find a job that they're absolutely desperate for something like that. It happens, but a lot of times it's just not. That's not how it works. That's not how life works.
It's true. And in hiring folks, you're looking for those guys with experience. When I look at a resume or looking at when I'm hiring somebody, I'd rather take somebody with 5 years of experience than a guy who just got his bachelor's degree and has no experience. It's really those guys with experience and even a degree with experience, you're golden in the IT field. You have a degree and you have experience, you can really move around a lot. And it doesn't need to, the funny thing about it is that it doesn't need to be in IT. That's what kills me. You could just go get your associates in business. It is the fact that I think a lot of folks look at that you could focus on doing that schooling and you could focus on getting that degree. A gentleman that both Zach and I used to work with, he didn't have a degree in IT, but he's working for a company right now in the IT field. The guy he just understood it, and he had a degree. I hate to say it, but I don't think not having a degree in IT, having a degree in business or having a degree in IT, I don't think would hurt you. I want to word this. If I were looking at two guys and one guy had a degree in business but yet had 5 years of IT experience and another guy had a degree in IT and 2 years of experience, I'm probably going to go for the guy with 5 years of experience and a business degree. It's just because you pick up so much more when you're there doing the work, when you're learning people's environments, than you are reading a book and just understanding how to get permissions to a folder in Novell or giving permissions to a folder in Windows. So really,
I feel like you've been watching my videos because I just talked about this the other day. I literally said, it doesn't matter what your degree is in, have a degree. And HR just weeds that stuff out most times. Mm-hmm. When they're applying for jobs, a lot of times it'll say, 2 or 4 year degree. It'll never say degree in IT required. It'll just say, associate's degree required, 2 years of experience or something like that. So.
Exactly. They don't define what degree you got to have. But it's amazing how much a degree is going to help you out, and especially how much just getting that experience.
Yeah. The funny thing is that this guy is the guy that hired me for the hospital that I work at, and all I have is experience. That's all that I have to show for myself. So, pick me for whatever reason because I'm awesome, basically.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
His face.
my face.
I like his face.
Yeah, it's a good.
There were
one.
some people we hired. I couldn't stand their face.
Yeah.
Some
Chris
people.
Davis?
Yeah,
You
his
didn't hire
face.
him, but-
His face.
Quick. This question isn't exactly on there, but you're kind of talking about, learning a network and learning a different environment. How different is one environment to the next? So, say you worked at the hospital, at the hospital that I work at, and then you move to a different hospital. How much different were those networks, even though they're both hospitals? How much different were they?
I would say that since they were both Cisco equipment, they weren't that different looking at it on paper. They were different because they had some redundancy built into it, so there were some additional commands in the switch configs, but other than that, they were literally, like all other organizations, they're building VLANs for medical imaging, they're building VLANs for their pharmacy, they're building, VLANs that are just for the guest network. So they're following the same template that a lot of other companies are following. It really comes down to is the networks being different in regards to, do you have the funds to build in that redundancy? That's where networks become different. That's where you see that one organization has the funds so they can do redundancy. They can have dual cores and dual runs to all their closets. So there's a little more complexity within their switching. What you don't see, and probably some more network engineers probably might disagree with me on this, but what I don't see, and I've always been baffled to why they would do this internally, is why would you have a bunch of crazy routing stuff going on? Most internal networks should just be flat. You should just be doing something in regards to spanning tree, or I can't think of the other Cisco protocol that they use to maintain your links for those redundant connections. Why would you need to be running RIP within your network or OSPF? You're adding a level of complexity in my mind that doesn't need to be there on your internal network. Now, yes, if you have connections to other organizations outside where you don't have dark fiber connections or direct fiber connections, and you're going through an ISP or some other provider, I could understand where you're going to use OSPF or some other routing protocol. But mostly when you're looking at it, networks internal, if they're Cisco, you're going to tend to see they all tend to look alike. They're going to break up the stuff with VLANs. If they've got the funds to do redundancy, you're going to see those other devices in there that are used for those redundant connections. But
How about the environment as a whole? When you're comparing those two, how different are they?
between where me and Zach worked and where I work now, they're different environments. But I think that they're different because I think it's the personality traits. Where some environments where I've worked at, it was family oriented, even though it wasn't a family business. It was just the directors, the way they brought that to the department. There are some departments where I worked at, it was just very business-like, where this is our job, this is what we need to get done, and just that's what's expected of you to get to make sure you're getting your projects finished on time and you're doing everything according to the business plan or according to the policies and procedures.
Which those all differ, and
Oh yeah, everywhere I've worked at, it's no two environments have ever been the same.
that's what I was looking for.
Where none of them. I've walked into some where it's pretty. Here's the paperwork. Here's what you have to fill out. Here's how everything works. Here's how you purchase stuff. Where I'm at now, we have change control. You don't make crazy changes without submitting. Here's what I need to do. Here's how I'm going to do it, and here's my backup plan if it fails. Some places I've worked at where I remember one of my first IT management jobs was after 6 o'clock, there was nobody there. We could literally shut the whole network down, do what we wanted to do, bring it all back up before 6 o'clock the next day. You move into a hospital environment, and it's literally, they're 24/7, so you've got to start picking your windows on when you can make a change. And
It's The whole new
And,
beast.
yeah, and making sure that you communicate to everybody that hey,
yeah.
I want to do this at 7:30 tonight. It's like, oh no, 7:30 doesn't work because yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Like I said, my first job working at an insurance company on their large network. It was after 6 o'clock, do what you want. There's nobody on the system. Oh really? Yeah. Wow, this is great. That was nice.